We're excited to get back to competing again. We had obviously a week off that interrupted our schedule, but it was a good opportunity for our team to get a little bit of rest and kind of get them working back up in terms of the workload and getting to prepare for Baylor this week. And it should be a really good test for our program, and obviously 2 critical matches for us.
All right, Dennis, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, with so much unknown in the future, is this about as close to a Final Four situation that you could possibly get in the fall?
Let's call it the fall Final Four if you want to put that in the media. Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, it's exciting for our players. It's a good test to see where we're at as a program right now, and I know that Baylor and our program are excited to compete at this level and see where we're at.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Danny.
Hey, Jerritt, it seems like with the addition of Lauren, Baylor's not going to need Yassiana to have 82 swings like she did in Waco against you guys last year. But how different or similar is this Baylor team than the one you guys saw last year twice?
Yeah, they're pretty similar in terms of what they're doing. The setter is out right now, or has just been coming back slowly. So we'll see if we see her in the lineup. They obviously lost a great middle that took a good number of swings and was kind of a solid base for their middle program. But, now they're a lot more pin heavy than they were last year. All 3 have the ability to score. You saw what both outside hitters did last week. And obviously with the speed of their offense, they can cause a lot of problems and get their offense really rolling. Looking at their side out numbers, they're extremely high. They're very efficient, and it'll be a good test for our servers and for our defense.
Go ahead, Daniela.
Hi, Coach. What are some things that you guys worked on and talked about during this off week?
Well, we first got them a little bit of rest, and then we kind of got them working back up in terms of their workload, and then we just started kind of going over what they will do. And we ran their scout report a lot this week, and really worked on our offensive efficiency in terms of continuing to improve in certain areas that we want to see. But a lot of this was based on our blocking and our defense and seeing how to counteract them and how to prepare for them.
Go ahead, Sam.
Hi, Coach. Given the caliber of the opponent and the extra time you've had, how much anticipation have you sensed from your team for these upcoming matches?
I think one of the positives about our program is we've been kind of in this position for years. Some programs, when they get to number 1 or they're number 2, like it sends them in a different emotional category. I think our players don't really buy into the number 1 or 2. It's nice to have that accolade, but they're more focused on winning the Big 12, and you could see their energy really picking up yesterday. The challenge was early in the week. When we had them, I had to kind of pick up practice and kind of really keep it moving and challenge them a little bit more, because I knew that there was not that stimulus of having a match last week, and now I'm starting to see it. And that's what great teams do.
Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Coach, I think we talked a little bit about this last year, about the importance of finding those teams that can really challenge you guys and give the Big 12 a better perception on a national level. Is it important that you have a consistent team, like if Baylor were to be in this run of a long period of time? How important is that from a national perspective for the Big 12 for you guys to have that challenger every year?
Well, it's important. We had it before. Baylor was Kansas for a while. I think Baylor's here to stay for a while. I think you're starting to see this in terms of playing the teams in our Big 12 right now. The bottom has really picked up. We feel like the level is getting a lot closer. And so we've got a great opportunity as a conference right now. I think with this one-time transfer rule coming up, I think our teams can get a little bit better. They're all 1 or 2 players away from being probably a top 15 team. So it's nice to see. And but we definitely need Baylor to be in that mark because of the RPI for home court advantage. To represent our state is great, and we're excited about it.
Daniela with another.
Coach, today's election day. So do you know if the women went and voted together and if they went early or going today?
I'm proud to say they're 100% voted, but we did it all beforehand. So everyone had cast their vote before today. It was a big discussion on our team. They did a great job of wanting to be a part of that. Some of them had to do some mail-in ballots. Some went to the polls at Gregory Gym. I think Kevin has posted some stuff on social media, but that was important for us, and we're excited for it. I told him today how proud I was of him and to be safe.
So, we might not know the results of the election until later this week. So how do you plan on keeping the girls focused for this upcoming match?
Well, I know that voting was important for them, but they don't have any control of that, and they know that they can control the Baylor match. So I think they'll be focused. I'm sure they'll be watching from kind of a secondary point of view, but their main focus right now is Baylor, and more importantly, midterms. A lot of them have midterms and tests right now they're stressed out about.
Danny, do you have another?
Yeah, Jerritt, do you get any sense that this is a do or die for both your team and Baylor, or do you sense that in the spring the NCAA is going to take multiple teams from this conference, regardless of how they set up their tournament?
Well, that's a great question. I think Baylor and Texas are safe right now, based on kind of our work and how we finish. I think how we've been historically, the run that Baylor made last year, that they have a big proportion of their team. They only lost the first match of the season to this point. So I would imagine they're going to take at least two. I think Kansas State is in that mix. And West Virginia, based on kind of how they finish out here. So potentially three, but we'll see what happens with this COVID. The West Coast is having a hard time playing. There's a lot of teams on the West Coast that still have not even been able to put blockers up at the net. So based on kind of what happens, based on what the NCAA is going to do, they're going to try to play 90 sports and 90 championships in a month period. There's a lot of work to be done on that, but I would imagine that Baylor and Texas are safe at this point from my eye.
Dennis, go ahead.
We talk about it's the fall Final Four. Only thing missing is a packed house. But when you get two elite programs like this, do you feel like they manufacture the competitiveness and kind of manufactures that same energy?
That was my big concern coming into the season. Like, how would we be emotional in quiet gyms and gyms that didn't have anybody? I've actually been very surprised at the level of focus our team has had. They've been dialed in every match. I feel like they've respected themselves first in their preparation, especially on second nights when they've won pretty handily on the first night. And so I know the intensity will be there. And this, obviously, they want to take care of business, as does Baylor. So there'll be great intensity in this match.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Terry.
Coach. So how do you coach that? How do you coach that with these elite players to stay focused, to stay in the zone, and to not let distractions, the election, all everything else that goes on? What do you do and your team do to keep these elite athletes keep raising the bar?
Well, this is actually the easier week. When you have the big competition, you're trying to kind of downplay it. So you got to be like, for us, it's being really relaxed around the players. You don't need to give them a lot of motivational speeches. You don't need to talk to them about, being prepared. You talk to them about being good in routines and making sure preparation is there. But, through my experience, the big games have never been the problem. It's been the program, the teams that we know or we feel like we should beat or they feel like they should beat, and getting them emotionally ready. So my biggest goal right now is keeping them relaxed, feeling them confident, and getting them in a good spot, talking to them individuals one-on-one, talking to the captains a little bit, making sure that their leadership in the locker room or where they're at is at a high level. But these are the fun weeks because there's not a whole lot of emotional preparation. You're trying to calm their nerves, because if they're not nervous, that's when you're concerned. And I told them a couple of weeks ago, I said, look, when you get in these situations, it's a privilege. There's many athletes in this world that have never got an opportunity to play number 1 versus number 2, or be in a Final Four, or play for a championship. And so if you can get them to understand that their work and this is supposed to be fun and this is a privilege to be in this situation and it's an opportunity, I think it changes their mindset and relaxes them a little bit from the focus of being, oh my gosh, we have to win this, or this is do or die, or it's not. We got to go into this and we got to play level-headed and good with our routines, and play as accountable as we can. And the ball's going to fall where it falls. And if we give our effort and we play united and we lose, I'm okay with that. But if we're not there focused and we're not doing the things that we need to do, then we're not okay with it. But it's hard to win every game every year round. So I think they're in a good spot right now, though. I feel good about where they're at.
Fantastic.
Go ahead, Mark. Got to unmute yourself, Mark.
How's that? Okay. Jerritt, you mentioned recently, I think, height, size, etc. Is Cabello ready or close to ready?
She's getting back into practices. She's getting some routines in there. She's a freshman, so she's getting up to speed. But she's not our starter right now. Ashley's been our blocking sub, and we're just limited in terms of what we can do with our numbers. So in our number of substitutions as well. So we can only have one blocking sub usually in the game, depending on how well of a side out game it's being played. But we're okay with that. We've had many years we've had small setters. So it's if the location is there and she's covering and playing good defense and we're passing well, we have an offense that can be pretty special.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Danny.
I assume since she will be here in the spring, there won't be any ceremony or anything from Morgan, but is there a plan for Ashley this week on Friday?
Yeah, Friday we're going to have our little senior night. We'll have her frame and do it like we normally do, but just with social separation. We're getting in some good progress. I'm super excited. I can't announce it yet, but I think we're going to have an opportunity for her to play at another big university and get a graduate degree and play some, I don't want to say what sport, but yes.
Sam, go ahead.
Jerritt, given everything that's been different this year from where you played, the weeks, how the weeks are set up, how have you liked how your team has handled everything this year?
It's obviously it's the first time coaching in this, and it's been I've taken it as I've been coaching, for over 20 years now. I can't believe, but I made an important note to myself to have fun and embrace this and make this a kind of a special year. And that's what the message is trying to be in with our team, and not look at the negatives. I think there's very unique people in this world that are able to see the glass half full all the time. And the more that we talk about that, and the more that we come with energy for our team and have fun with them, let them know that this is their time to be relieved. I think that's part of our culture now. They embrace it. Early on, there was a lot of what is it about? How are we doing this? Questioning everything. Is it going to be a special Final Four? How is it going to work? What's it going to be like playing in front of nobody? And I think as we've gone through time, they've really embraced that. And now their goals are within sight, their first goal, and they're seeing their improvement rate, and they want to obviously accomplish some high things at this level.